Hi Twihards! The Twilight Saga gave us plenty of drama on screen, but that's nothing compared to the drama off screen. These are the behind-the-scenes secrets that will change the way you view the franchise. With Stephenie Meyer releasing Midnight Sun in August 2020, we'll finally get to hear Edward Cullen's side of the story. But what about Robert Pattinson's side of the story? Or Kristen Stewart, Anna Kendrick, and the rest of the cast's shocking opinions? Discover the dark truth about filming the Twilight Saga movies, and what it was really like behind the scenes.
Jesus Christ, I don't know why I can't handle that. I can't handle it.
Anna Kendrick revealed that the Twilight set wasn't always a happy place. In an interview with Vanity Fair in June 2020, the actor admitted she was so miserable she wanted to annihilate the rest of the cast. But that's not because she hated them. It was actually because she was so cold and miserable filming in Portland, Oregon. She recalls her shoes being completely soaked through, and that made her want to take out her co-stars. But it was also a bonding experience, like going through some trauma event, such as surviving a hostage situation. That's pretty intense, right? Calm down, Anna.
And I just remember being so cold and miserable.
We couldn't imagine anyone but Taylor Lautner playing Jacob Black. But it turns out the New Moon director Chris Weitz could imagine someone else playing the werewolf. And that someone was Michael Copin. In fact, Michael came very close to replacing Taylor for the second movie. Are you as outraged as we are? The director wasn't sure Taylor could bulk up enough to play the beefed-up Jacob. Chris Weitz explained he had nothing against Taylor personally. It was just about the storyline. Fortunately, Taylor went on an intense weight training and diet regimen and kept the part.
What happened to you? What's wrong? Hey! What happened?
Speaking of casting, Twilight author Stephenie Meyer had a wish list for the actors she wanted to play her precious characters. And guess what? It wasn't the eventual lineup. She originally wanted Henry Cavill to play Edward Cullen, but by the time Summit Entertainment optioned Twilight in 2007, Henry was too old. He was 24, and Stephenie refused to consider anyone over 21. So she championed Henry for Carlisle and wanted Tom Sturridge for Edward. Tom just happens to be Robert Pattinson's BFF. Awkward. As for Bella Swan, Stephenie wanted Emily Browning, and she wanted Taylor Posey for Jacob.
You have no idea how tight I'm bound.
We can't help but wonder if Stephenie Meyer still wishes Tom Sturridge got the part. After all, Tom might not have badmouthed the franchise quite as much as Robert Pattinson has done over the years. What's the worst thing Rob said? We reckon it's when he said he hated Edward Cullen. Stephenie adores that character, so it must have hurt to hear that the leading man described Edward as the most ridiculous person. Rob didn't stop there. He revealed the more he read the script, the more he hated this guy. Ouch.
He's trying to hide it all the time, which is annoying.
At least Rob didn't have a creepy doll stand in for him. Did you know they used a Bella doll for the Breaking Dawn Part 1 birth scene? The fact that the doll was totally creepy was deliberate, according to John Rosengrant, the film's animatronics and special makeup effects supervisor. He said he was shocked that the director, Bill Condon, actually wanted the doll to look so real it was creepy. However, they did have to cut a lot of the scene in order to keep a PG-13 rating.
Until that baby is born, we're not going to see anything beyond what Bella could see.
Rochelle Lefevre was seriously annoyed about being replaced as Victoria by Bryce Dallas Howard in Eclipse. The studio said the recasting was down to scheduling conflicts, but the actor herself said she was stunned by Summit's decision, as she was fully committed to it. But did you know there's a further twist to this tale? Bryce Dallas Howard was originally approached for the role for the first movie. She turned it down at that point because she thought it was too small a part. Talk about rubbing salt in that wound.
You know, visually you have no control and you don't know what the end result is going to be.
Certain actors had to suffer for their art while filming Twilight, like Nikki Reed. Well, more specifically, her hair suffered. It fell out because of the excessive bleaching she went through to become Rosalie. So Nikki had to wear a wig for New Moon. She revealed it took a massive 36 hours initially to make her blonde. And then every other day, she was bleaching her head and her skin. It's no wonder she switched to a wig.
And I looked at my wig when I took it off, and I was so happy to get that thing off.
The Twilight Saga made Kristen Stewart mega famous. But what if she hadn't got the role? Could you imagine Jennifer Lawrence as Bella? Well, she actually auditioned for the part, but missed out. J-Law had no hard feelings. She didn't realize the franchise would become such a big deal. And given that she went on to star in the hugely successful Hunger Games, we're not surprised she doesn't mind. There were also rumors that Vanessa Hudgens auditioned for the part of Leah Clearwater.
I'm really sorry about your father. If you're here to torture Jacob some more, feel free to leave.
Actors are pretty polite about the creators of the stories they tell, but Robert Pattinson has said he thinks Stephenie Meyer is mad. He said he thought Stephenie was convinced she was Bella. That's a pretty interesting theory, Rob. Explain, please. The actor went on to reveal he had that opinion because Stephenie said the story was based on a dream she had about this amazing guy. Then she went and wrote a book about it.
She's completely mad, and she's in love with her own fictional creation.
Speaking of Stephenie Meyer, did you spot her cameo appearances? The author, and her laptop, appeared in the first Twilight film during the diner scene, and then she also appeared as a guest at Bella and Edward's wedding in Breaking Dawn Part 1. She sat with screenwriter Melissa Rosenberg and producer Wick Godfrey. Some cast members actually auditioned for different parts to the ones they ended up playing. Take Jackson Rathbone, for example. The actor originally auditioned for Edward Cullen, but he ended up playing Jasper. The same goes for Kellen Lutz. His team also sent him out for Edward, but he ended up playing Emmett after the original choice for that role fell through. We can't help but wonder how the other actors felt about Robert. We wouldn't blame them if they felt a bit jealous.
Don't antagonize her. She's the strongest one in the house.
Please.
Have you ever wondered what the hardest part of playing a vampire is? Well, according to many of the actors, it's the eyewear. Apparently, the contact lenses were unbearable. Robert said he was uncomfortable for the entire time because of them. And Kellen Lutz also said that wearing contacts used to seriously bug him on set. However, Kellen understood that they saved a lot of time and effort. That's because the movie makers wouldn't have to use special effects for their vampire eyes. In Breaking Dawn, the actors had a hard time even seeing through their colored contacts.
I love everyone's love-hate relationship with the wig and the contacts.
Oh my god, there's so much hate there.
It's not just the contact lenses that were a problem. The hair pieces also caused some issues. Remember Jacob's long hair in the first movie? Taylor Lautner hated the wig he had to wear. The actor joked that his wig was a very important co-star. After his character got shorter hair, he certainly didn't miss the wig much. In fact, he joked that there was a hatred between the two of them. The wig did not like him and he did not like it. Not fond memories, he added. Who knew a wig could cause such an effect? Kristen Stewart's first day on the Twilight set was memorable for all the wrong reasons. That's because she nearly passed out. They were filming the ballet studio scene. Kristen remembers going to open the door for the first time and trying to rev herself up to such an insane degree that she actually almost passed out. Not only that, an excruciating pain shot out of her head. And then they called action, and she had to get it together. She'd never had that experience before on a movie, and she felt it was kind of fitting that it happened at the start of her Twilight experience. What a sign for things to come.
It's actually one of the coolest things I've ever done.
That wasn't the only scary moment in Kristen's experience on set. When filming New Moon, director Chris Weitz wanted Kristen to be weighted down for the drowning scene. She was also concerned about the deep water, so Weitz tried it himself. He realized how terrifying it was to have weights in your pockets when you're 12 feet underwater, so he let Kristen stay up at the top of the pool. He lauded Rob for having the guts to go so deep. Rob had already done underwater work on Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, so it wasn't surprising that he was more comfortable with it. Director Bill Condon had to tone down Edward and Bella's highly anticipated wedding night scene. The original version meant Breaking Dawn Part 1 received an R rating. They also had to ensure the birth scene wasn't too intense for the film to be given a PG-13 rating. Kristen Stewart spoke about her shock at the controversial scene in the movie. She revealed it was so weird. It didn't even feel like they were doing a Twilight film. The actor found it all very surreal.
I don't think they used any of those shots.
Yeah, that's a little
I don't
awkward.
think so, yeah.
Breaking Dawn Part 2 also had to cut some pretty important things from the final version. We're talking about the terrifying Renesmee doll. It was so freaky, it was nicknamed Chakesme. We can all breathe a sigh of relief that the filmmakers opted to use CGI instead of the mechanical doll. Producer Wick Godfrey called Chakesme one of the most grotesque animatronic babies ever to not be seen on film. During the promotion of the movie, Kristen Stewart admitted that the doll scared her because it so closely resembled Chucky. We're with you on that, Kristen.
If you're Bella, you're looking at it going, I don't want that thing.
Robert Pattinson had another swipe at the franchise when talking about promotional duties. He revealed the Twilight poster photo shoot took 2 days. When he and his co-stars asked why it was taking so long, the suits explained for the toys and the Burger King hats. And although Rob understood it's difficult for movies to make money, he still found it weird being a part of that, kind of representing something you don't particularly like. After he made that admission, Rob added he really headbutted it. Yep, you sure did, Robert. Sometimes actors have to use little tricks to change their appearance, and Taylor Lautner did just that to make himself seem taller compared to Kristen Stewart. The actor had to wear lifts in his shoe to exaggerate the difference between Jacob and Bella in New Moon. Wardrobe stylist Tish Monaghan also revealed that they tailored all of the t-shirts Taylor wore to make it seem like he was busting out of them. To be fair, the actor put in hard work as well to alter his appearance, like eating 4,000 calories a day and doing strength training exercises. That's commitment to a role right there.
Hello, biceps. You know, anabolic steroids are really bad for you.
When 11-year-old Mackenzie joined the cast to play Renesmee in Breaking Dawn Part 2, she made some extra cash. Robert revealed that the cast were really not polite to each other by the time they got to this final movie, so they'd have to tone it down when Mackenzie was around. She had a little swear jar, and Rob reckons she made $850 or something. As well as keeping their language in check, having the young star on set really brought something paternal out in Rob, and Kristen was especially protective, said director Bill Condon. Aw, you guys.
He just loved being around kids.
Which behind-the-scenes secret shocked you the most? Has it changed your opinion about your favorite characters and actors in the franchise? Remember to hit that subscribe button to be the first to know when we upload more videos like this. Thanks for watching.